So, what we are tackling together today is about, as agile professional, how you keep relevant, employable on demand. Now, I get lots of messages about this, and we see what's happening, right? To call the market flaky doesn't cut it. And there are some patterns I think are quite obvious. First is that, well, we have some horrid consultancy behaviors that are ranking in top news. And that's very unhelpful, especially for our craft and type of work. Two is that we can observe very hard reactions, meaning that if a big enterprise do cuts, layoff, whatever, then the small sort of medium as well reacts, most often without the logic, right? Without looking at their P&L and their pipeline and whatever else. So that's basically inertia, which has quite detrimental sort of snowball effect. And this is also not only in the agile arena, right? You can find very similar nervousness and clickbait post news and the like, which again, sort of snowballing. For that, first thing I'll say, go and check out things like talent ecosystem reports, and industry reports, and things that the like. So you become aware of the top findings and how and which, in fact, applies to your setup. Also, I'll say be careful with anxious reactions. I get, for example, trillion of social private messages of like repartnering and reselling and all these sort of things with best intentions, but that's really brand sort of damaging. And fun fact, I have a double degree in communication, so be careful your strategy and what do you do in anxious reactions. So be more proactive rather than reactive, because that has a knock-on effect also in your brand, your company brand, and the industry. What I would say at individual level is, how can you sort of capitalize in your expertise and your experience so that you can become attuned and employable, whatever the weather. So that's the aim. And here I'm giving you 5 things to act on and think about. First is find your niche. Like, life is perishable. What do you care about? What gives you energy? Do what you love and love what you do. Now, when you are finding your niche, careful here, don't go too narrow. Find a wide applicability in what you care about. So we're talking about agile professionals, our skills, facilitators, system thinkings, change enablers. There are many things. So find that wide applicability for what you care about. Also, number 2, don't just quit. So if you are on that sort of sense of mind, especially in such a fluctuating and uncertain market, just quit. Think about what are the opportunities that you can create in your context. Where are the potential synergies, right? Where are the different paths you can take? 3 is experiment. We know this by default. So creating, say, new project a week, things for you to test out on your above options of the synergies. How can you create opportunities on that current context, right? Your ways, path, and then finding momentum. So reinforcing your niche, basically getting known about it. If you are getting known about a thing that you really care about, there is value and on demand, that's the secret sauce. Now, 4, learn. Invest in what you care about is well worth way to gain competitive advantage. It's also growing your connection, creating that sort of career safety net based on your newly gained experience. But this idea of always be learning, keeping on demand skills, what it is that is coming up in the market, what it is that you care about, where you want the world to go, and therefore learn and align, right? Invest your time, energy, efforts, finance to learn about those things is definitely worth it. It just gives you that edge. And then fifth, well, dig deeper. And with that, I mean the application and the narrative that you choose when presenting yourself. Think that you don't have to start from scratch either in a new type of job, in a new industry, in a new whatever. You already have unique experiences and skills and interests. So ensure that your narrative supports that on your conversation. So, how we present ourselves matter, how you express yourself matter. Now, I link on the description here a slight diversion of an article, but still yet relevant of how those words that we choose matter and sort of help shaping perception and therefore decisions. All right, so now it's your turn. What is one thing that you can do today to get closer where you want to be?